Misys, the technology provider, still sees a place for derivatives despite all the turmoil of the past year.
Basically, because of the pressure on equities, people are having to look for alternative investments in some ways. For the last year, or perhaps a bit before then, people have been seeing derivatives as an investment, which now I think is perceived as being the wrong approach. But they're still valuable because they can be used very much to immunise a portfolio against risk. So they should be seen as if you like, one tool in a portfolio manager's portfolio. And sometimes it's appropriate to use them, sometimes it's not. And I think the emphasis is changing very much from investment banks trying to sell derivatives to a portfolio manager. It's changing more to a portfolio manager saying, my portfolio is this sort of shape, I've got this sort of risk, and I want a derivative that looks like that to hedge the risk. So I think if you like the boots on the other foot a little bit, it's more the investment managers going to investment banks to banks and asking for the derivatives rather than the other way around.
With the ever-increasing pressure of cost reduction and regulation, Dixon says firms can reduce costs by outsourcing to the ASP model.
So people are trying to cut costs. There's a lot of pressure on managers' incomes now. And there are lots of ways of doing this. One way is consolidation of systems. Another way is perhaps to outsource some aspect of the system. Some people are outsourcing asset servicing, some people are outsourcing just the running of the computer. Other things people are expecting a lot more regulation, and especially with cross-asset portfolios, which they're being driven to, some of the reporting gets really hard. If you've got things in different systems and different spreadsheets, trying to get a consolidated view is very hard. And so this again is putting pressure on people to come up with one consolidated system, or as few systems as they can. I don't think there is one system that people can use at the moment, but you certainly want to try and minimise the number of systems. And if there's a system out there, and we've got a system out there, you can effectively rent it on the ASP. So you don't have to worry about setting up computer rooms and stuff like that. Effectively, we run the computer room for you. So we have the people who do the disk backups and so on. But it's your data, it's your database, it's your software. But we run it for you in our computer room. Because it's pre-configured, you can set it up very quickly. We've had people go live in 2 months. And what we've found is people tend to come to us because of our strength in OTC, with 18 years on the sell side, really. People come to us, their equities are fine, they've got systems that do that, there's no need to touch them, but we can take away the problem for the OTC side.
But with tight budgets, can firms afford to make the switch now?
Volumes, especially for OTC instruments, are very different than equities in terms of the life cycle processing and so on. And it can be that you can manage okay until a certain level, up until 10 or 20, perhaps even 50 trades, depending on how complicated they are. But you get to a balance point, and then all of a sudden you can't really cope so much. And again, people are expecting a lot more regulations. There's going to be a lot more focus, it's for sure, on risks and operational risk and everything else. And this is again putting pressure on people. It's good to have a system that will do this. So certainly there's pressure to cut back on costs. But staff costs is a cost that people are also looking to cut back on, and if you can computerise, perhaps this can be helped as well.
For Global Custodian in London, I'm Eric Hornbeck.